Welcome to Apex Philosophy. You will find your motivation here. Be sure to subscribe and listen every day, because you are what you watch. Please like and share the video to help inspire others. Compare yourself to yourself. The reason why people aren't successful is that they spend too much time comparing themselves to others and not enough time worrying about how to better themselves. Bitterness and envy control you and suffocate you. And that won't change unless you stop comparing yourself to other people and start comparing yourself to the past version of yourself. How have you changed? Are you a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday? Envy and resentment hold you back because you are trying to compare yourself to a person you don't know. This comparison is detrimental, since people often give up because they look at someone else and see that they aren't in the same position as they are. Then they assume they never will be either. They attach value to these people and think less of themselves because they aren't matching that value. This is absurd. These people may look shiny and unobtainable on the outside, but inside they could be suffering. You may be jealous of a man in an expensive Ferrari, but you don't realise that that same man is thinking about driving that expensive Ferrari off a cliff. Because he is suffering on the inside and is dealing with demons that you couldn't possibly imagine. Everyone has struggles, and everyone has things that make them stand out, but at the end of the day, you don't really know them, and therefore, you shouldn't be jealous of them. Even those who, comparatively, are fortunate are still suffering. And once you realise that, your problems become more manageable in comparison. Be careful what you are jealous of, because you never really know what is behind the shiny exterior being projected. Instead of competing against others, you should be competing against yourself. Jordan Peterson once said that you should compare yourself to who you were yesterday, rather than someone else today. Which is an ethos everybody should adopt into their lives. It is important to only see your past self as a competitor, because you have the same advantages and disadvantages as them. You are the same person. You are just a better version because you have improved and changed. You are the progress the past you wanted to see. And if you continue to put in the work, the you of tomorrow will be even better. To be successful, you need to have an aim and a goal. By wanting to be like someone else, you are setting an unobtainable goal, because you are not like that person. You are your own person, and everyone is different. You have different interests, different family situations, different temperaments, and different struggles from the person next to you. So, of course, you will see yourself as lesser to them. It's because you are on different paths in life. Once you acknowledge that, it becomes easier to remove yourself from this trivial way of valuing yourself. Things will go wrong in life. It is inevitable. You may get sick. Your family may get sick. You may lose your job, or a dream may die. Whatever it is, you need to be prepared to accept it when it happens. Who should you defeat when things go wrong? Your former self. Your former self is the lesser version of you, and therefore you need to overcome them before you can become a better person. You need to make sure that you keep that dream alive and that you persevere to overcome personal obstacles, Otherwise, you will be stuck feeling sorry for yourself, like so many people. So, what is your lesser self? What does that mean? Your lesser self is someone who is bitter, resentful, and aggressive. They are jealous of other people and blame society for their failures instead of looking to self-improve. They don't take responsibility for their own mistakes, and they fail to realise that self-improvement leads to change. Your lesser self is someone with a negative moral character that was in dire need of change. This is the hierarchy of improvement. The more time you dedicate to yourself, the higher up the hierarchy you go. The past versions of yourself should always be lower down in the hierarchy because they reflect less progress than your current self. Everyone is flawed. Nobody is exempt from being flawed, but you can strive to fix those flaws. You can change that by working hard each and every day to perfect your imperfections. You need to have humility and put your ego aside to be a better version of yourself than the version from the day before. The way to succeed is to transcend your current, miserable, wretched self and find a purpose for your life. Once you find that purpose, don't stop working towards it. Imagine a life where you have failed that goal. That is your motivation to keep going. If you have a goal, hold on to it until it hurts. Motivation comes from competing against your former self to ensure you have a better tomorrow. The thing that separates the successful ones from the pack is the ability to take responsibility for their own life. Not only that, but by taking responsibility for their own life and decisions, they are then taking care of themselves. They prioritise their own well-being and then afterward ensure everyone else is fine. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. By taking responsibility for yourself, you are giving your life meaning. And that meaning comes from self-transcendence. It is a constant cycle of rising above the person you used to be in order to be the person you'll become. You must let your old self die in favour of your new self. The cycle repeats itself throughout your whole life, every single day. But the question is, how do you prepare for that? You need to find a way of being that lives in the direst of circumstances. This sounds confusing, but it means that you will push to succeed, even if the odds are against you. Even if you are at a disadvantage or have lost terribly, your actions afterward determine your survival and your chances of success. Do you throw a tantrum and quit? Or do you pick yourself back up and question how you can improve for the next time? Imagine you're a boxer. You're in a big fight, everyone watching you, and a lot is at stake. Imagine you lose that fight. Your opponent is stronger and knocks you onto the floor. It would be easy to be envious of your opponent, blame the referee for some bad calls, or some other unfortunate fate out of your control. Many people would do this as it absolves them of any responsibility. They haven't failed. Society has failed them. Or you could be the type of fighter who picks themselves up, dusts themselves off, and questions what they can do to improve for next time. What can you do to ensure this doesn't happen next time? It is all about changing your attitude into realising that you can solve the problem rather than ignoring it and hoping it will go away. It's about realising that you are insufficient and then figuring out how you will rectify that. This is the right attitude to have in life and will get you a lot further than blaming others. To succeed, you need to set goals. Set small goals that in the short term seem insignificant. Start every morning by making your bed, going for a walk. Start dedicating time to your goals. It may seem small and unnoticeable to start with, but it compounds. These steps start off small but get bigger each day. It starts as one step. Making your bed every morning is one step on a long journey. It seems ridiculously easy, but by setting it as a goal and following through with it, you are achieving something, no matter how small it seems. Once you have achieved one thing that day, it motivates you to try and achieve something else. It encourages you to take the next step, to take a slightly bigger step. And if you do nothing else that day, at least you can say you achieved this one thing. You were still successful today. After a while, you will look back and all those seemingly insignificant steps amount to something huge. You have made progress. You have changed yourself and made the effort to become a better person. That is huge. Those small steps have all been added together to create a map that tracks the long process you have undertaken to achieve what you want from life. Be grateful for what you have in front of you today and take care of it so that you can build on it tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Success is about disciplining yourself. Disciplining yourself to follow a routine. Disciplining yourself to leave your comfort zone and to try new things. Disciplining yourself to say no to distractions and negativity. You need to pick a path of discipline, a route to follow. It's really not relevant what path you choose or how you choose it, as long as you are picking something and putting the effort into following it. Not many people know what they want to do, so at this stage, it doesn't matter as long as you are dedicating yourself to something. Pick something and push yourself. Break free from your comfort zone and try to challenge yourself. It may fail, and in all honesty, there is a good chance that it will. However, that doesn't matter. At least you can say you tried. At least you can say that you were willing to put the effort in when others were too scared. That says more about you as a person than anything else. You are someone who is dedicated and hell-bent on self-improvement. At least you can say you put something into motion. By doing this, you are proving that you have the ability to discipline yourself. And by becoming disciplined, you become wiser, and that is how better plans are formed. So when it comes to repeating the process all over again, you are better prepared. You have the experience to know what went well and what failed, as well as identifying key areas of weakness in your own skill set and figuring out how to improve yourself from there. Most people expect to succeed and get everything they want on the first try. Those people are wrong. You now know the true price to pay for success, and you know how much effort it takes and how much time it takes. The real question is, are you willing to put yourself through it? Are you willing to put in the work in your 20s so that you can enjoy life in your 30s? Are you willing to sacrifice wasting your life at the bottom of a glass for the chance to live life on your own terms? If so, you are ready to begin your journey and to start becoming the best version of yourself. You now know that the best version of yourself can only be achieved by competing against your past self and nobody else. You now know that your attitude is the most important aspect to enforce change. Nobody else will be there to help you. You are your own mascot and your own coach, and therefore you have got to be your biggest supporter. This will motivate you to get across the finish line and then go that extra distance, because you, and only you, know your true value and will do anything to prove that. Thank you for listening. Comment below, what small things can you start doing to build up your discipline? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.